Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna walk you through how to set up cold inbound email. So what's happening right now is I need to be sending the emails from high level. So we need to be the one who initiate an email to send it to the leads, and when they reply, they are going to have to be replying to the email that you sent them. So let's just say if I'm sending them this email right now, they are going to receive this email in their inbox and they have to click reply to that email in order for that replies to show up in high level. So let's just say we don't want that. We want them to just be able to reply to an email address and the conversations will be showing up there inbound emails. So how can we set that up? The first step that we have is obviously a set up Mailgun. So if you don't have that set up, be sure that you're going to sign up for a Mailgun account, pay for the foundation plan, because if you're on the free Mailgun plan, there's no way for us to receive replies. Like the replies webhook, it's not even there. So be sure to sign up for Mailgun to do this. Also, there's no way to do this with SMTP right now. So unfortunately, we're going to have to use Mailgun to do this. And so you can click on this link here and it will go to this page. So this page shows all of the Mailgun setup. So whether or not you're using GoDaddy is like where you're getting the domain, or if you're using HostGator, depending on which domain provider you have. So let's just say if I use GoDaddy, then I'll just follow this article here to set up Mailgun. And Mailgun would always recommend using a subdomain, but if you want to use the main domain to make the email address looks better, you can always buy another main domain for the Mailgun purposes. And another thing to be aware of is be sure you're not using the main domain for G Suite as well, because sometimes I've seen people using the domain.com. So let's just say if you got domain.com and they're already pointing to G Suite. So in that case, it will not be able to work with Mailgun. So in that case, make sure you're getting either a brand new domain or you're no longer using that domain for G Suite. So either way. Yep, so right now, after you set up the subdomain or main domain here, subdomain can be anything, so mg.mydomain.com, anything that goes in front. So it can be replies, it can be the business name here, it can be anything. So anything at mydomain.com, .mydomain.com. So after you set up this domain, it's going to tell you how to implement with high level as well. And the second step is, I guess this is more like a second step. As long as there's only one location mapped to that Mailgun domain you just set up, it will route all inbound email to that location. So I guess this is where you would determine whether or not you're going to use that domain for other locations. So like, which location do you want to be able to receive cold inbound email? So looking at this setup right now, I do not have anything configured at the agency level. And then I have the same domain selected for all of the 3 locations. That means they are not going to receive any cold inbound emails. But notice that I have replies.gohighlevel.com here. As long as this API key and this domain, it's not selected for another location. So maybe you have 2 agencies and this domain, it's also selected in another agency account. So make sure you're going to get rid of that, because we want to make sure that replies.gohighlevel.com, it's only selected for this location here. And you won't even be selecting the same domain at the agency level. So this Mailgun settings is the agency levels. So make sure you're going to delete the connection for this top agency Mailgun settings, or you're going to just put in the subdomain.gohighlevel.com on here. So in your case, let's just say if you have multiple domains set up with Mailgun, then you can, let's just say if you have domain.com set up with Mailgun. And in that case, you can then select the domain.com for the locations that you want to set up the cold inbound email for, and then the rest of the domain will just be a subdomain like replies.domain.com. So as long as there's only one location mapped to the Mailgun domain you just set up, it will route all inbound email to that location. So in this case, if I only have replies.gohighlevel.com set up, then anything, so if I have that set up here, then the email, the cold inbound email would look like tests@replies.gohighlevel.com. So this would be the email that the leads will be reaching out to. And let's just say if you have just the main domain that you brought, so it will be the main domain.com. So that, like, I guess in front here, it can be anything. So that would be the idea of how you can set up the email. So you can put this one anything at maindomain.com, as long as this main domain, it's selected under here. So main domain is selected under here. So if you have main domain selected on top, remember to remove that as well. And yeah, so only one, it will route anything at domain.com or anything at mg.domain.com, depending on whether or not you set up that one to that location. And I guess the next thing, maybe you will have a concern of, if I get rid of the agency API key, for the locations that do not have the API key set up, which one it will use. So it's going to use our default Mailgun domain. So in that case, you might want to set up another subdomain for the rest of the account that do not need this feature. So in that case, I could be configuring this agency Mailgun settings to subdomain.gohighlevel.com, because this is already selected in multiple places and I'm not using this domain for receiving inbound email. So if I'm only keeping this location here for replies.gohighlevel.com. And this one should not be selected for the agency settings. So hopefully this video will help. It will help to set up the cold inbound email.